Okay. So for our LO, it says that we're going to determine if two given fractions are equal. Now, yesterday we learned about what equivalent fractions are, and we know that equivalent fractions are two fractions that equal the same. Now, the only difference between these fractions are what? They have what?
They're different numbers.
They have a different numerator and they have a different denominator. But when you compare them side by side, when you draw the picture, they're the same. They equal the same. And we did a problem yesterday with Savannah and Lynn. They had to get they had to figure out if they had the same length of yarn. Savannah had, what did it say that it had? She had 2/4. She had 2/4, and Lynn had 3/8. 2/4 and 3/8. Were they equal? Are those two numbers equivalent?
No, ma'am.
They are not equivalent fractions, and we know this because we tried to figure it out yesterday. Let me have your board. So we tried to figure it out. Whether 2/4 is equivalent or not equivalent to 3/8. Now, today what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you guys two different strategies. I know I kind of mentioned both of them yesterday, but we didn't get to practice them yesterday. Now, Zaneta, what's the first method or first strategy that we can use to figure out if fractions are equivalent or not? Okay, third grade word was butterfly method. What's the fourth grade word? Jonathan.
Cross multiplication.
Cross multiplication. That's when you take the numerator from one side, multiply it with the denominator of the other side. So 2 times 8 is 16. Now we're going to cross multiply the denominator from the first one with the numerator from the second one. 4 times 3 is
12.
Now 16 and 12, are they equal?
No.
No, they are not equal. So 2/4 is not equivalent to 3/8. So that's one way of doing this. Another way that we practiced yesterday was what?
Multiply.
Yes, multiplying. You try to figure out, when we go from a big number to a little number, what are we doing?
Multiplying.
Big number to a little number, we divide. So let me write this down. Big to little, we divide. Little to big, we multiply. So if I have the numbers 6/8 and 18/24. 6/8 and 18/24. Go ahead and write that down on your dry erase board. Sorry, I took yours. Let me get you one. 6/8 and 18/24. So we're going from a little number to a big number. What do I have to do?
Multiply.
Multiply. So what number times 6 would equal to 18? 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. Now, what did we say our rule was when we do this? Yes, Leanna?
It has to be times 3 on the bottom too.
So whatever we do to the numerator, we have to do for the denominator. So if we multiply the numerator by 3, we have to multiply the denominator by 3. So what's 8 times 3?
24.
Are we sure?
Yes.
So 6/8 and 18/24. Are they equivalent or not equivalent? Equivalent. Now remember, our symbol for equivalent is an equal sign. If we're talking about not equivalent, we will do the equal sign with the diagonal slash in between.
It's like when if it's not equal, it's not the same.
If it's not equal, that means it's not the same.
And if it's equal, it is the same.
Yes. Good job, Angel, for making that observation. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to start a lesson on generating equivalent fractions. So open up your math journal. Silent. Generate equivalent fractions. Now that's a big word, generate. What do you think the word generate means? Alexia. She says compare. We're not going to compare. We're going to, Johnny?
Make them?
We're going to make. We're going to make or produce equivalent fractions. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. That's what we're really going to be doing today. Today we are going to be making equivalent fractions. If you would, please open up your book to page 81. You will see our unlock the problem. So we're going to generate equivalent fractions today. We don't have that much time. We're going to just start it off right now, and then after luncheon specials, we'll finish up our lesson. But if you read right here, it says Patty needs 3/4 cups of dish soap to make homemade bubble solution. How much does she need? 3/4 cup. Her measuring cup is divided into 8. What fraction of the measuring cup should Patty fill with dish soap?
4.
So, we are looking for the equivalent fraction of 3/4 cup. Let's circle that, 3/4 cup. So, step 1 says, compare 4ths and 8ths. So we're going to compare them. We're going to shade to model 1/4, and we're going to use the 4th size pieces. So on the left side, they are broken down into 4ths. How much do they want us to shade?
1/4.
1/4. So shade in 1/4. Good. Now on the left side, it says shade to model 1/4 using the 8 size parts. So here we're trying to figure out how much is 1/4. Well, we have 8 pieces, correct?
Yes.
We are trying to shade in 1/4. So if we divide 8 into 4, what do we get? I mean, if we divide 8 by 4, what do we get?
4.
What was that?
2.
2. So for one piece, you'll have to shade in 2.
Because it's just splitting it into half.
Yes. All they did was split all of them into halves. So 1/4 is equivalent to what? 2 eighths. 1/4 is equivalent to 2 eighths. So you need how many 8 size parts to make 1/4? 2 eighths. That was pretty simple, correct?
Yes.
And it's even really easy when we have our models here for us.
Yeah.
It's a lot easy to go from the models to the fraction numbers.
At first,
So-
it's the same.
Now let's look at step 2. It says find how many 8s you need to make 3/4. So if we know that 1/4 is equal to 2 eighths, we need to figure out now how many 3/4 is equal to. So it says shade to model 3/4. So shade in 3/4. All right, we have shaded in 3/4. Now on the right side, it says shade to model 3/4 using the 8 size parts. So if you go all the way across, here it is. So how many did you have to shade in? 6 of them. Well, if we know that 1 is equivalent to 2 eighths, and we need 3/4, how do you get from 1 to 3? Multiply by 3. Now we know 1/4 is equivalent to 2 eighths. And we know if we multiply 1/4 by 3 to get 3/4, you get 3 for your numerator. Now, what if I multiply 2 by 3? What do you get? 6. Isn't that what we have over here on this side?
Yes.
So all we have to do was multiply by
3.
3. We have to multiply by 3. So you need how many 8 sides? 6. So Patty should fill in 6/8 of a measuring cup with dish soap.
So that means it's equal, right?
That means what?
It's equal.
It's what?
It's equal, right, or not equal?
Equivalent. Let's use our vocabulary word. Equivalent. Take your hoodie off your mouth. Equivalent. Correct. It is equivalent. Now, real quick, 2 minutes. Discuss with your table. How do you know how many 8 size parts you need to make 1/4? 2 minutes. Go. Okay, let's pretend that we didn't even do this part right here. How do you know that 1/4 is going to be the same as 2 8?
Because you have to multiply by 2.
But nobody said that you have to multiply by 2. Why do you have to multiply by 2? Why does it say you have to? You started off with how much?
This wasn't there. It was just the fraction.
And she said her measuring cup was what?
8.
8. So to go from 4 to 8, what would you have to do? To go from 4 to 8, what would you have to do? To go from something 4 to something 8, what would you have to do? Multiply by 2. All right, good job. It's time for lunch and specials first and then lunch. But before we go, let's try to do our equivalent fraction part 1. Our example. So going to the next page, it says write 2 fractions that are equivalent to 1/2. So here we have 1/2. 1 out of 2. That's our fraction. 1/2, 1/2. 1/2 over here is shaded. Over here they split it up into 4. How many fourths are shaded in?
2.
2 fourths. So when equivalent fraction to 1/2 is equal to 2 fourths. Now, over here it says relate the equivalent fractions. Well, all we did was multiply 2 times 2 to equal to 4. But what's the rule? Whatever you do to the denominator,
You have to do it to the numerator.
so if they multiply the denominator by 2, what do you have to do to the numerator?
Multiply by 2.
So 1 times 2 is equal to
2.
2. So now let's try to do the bottom one. Here we have 1/2, 1/2. What do we have for this pie? We have how many pieces?
6.
How many pieces do we have total?
6.
6. So what's our denominator going to be? 6. Listen to the question before you answer. You have to make sure you have a clear understanding. Because when we take our ACP, you're only going to have 2 hours. You have to make sure you understand the question. I said, how many pieces are in this pie?
6.
6 pieces total.
So there's 3 shaded in, and that's
Hold on a second. You're going too fast.
Yeah.
We have 6 pieces total. When we know how many pieces total, we make that number our denominator. Now we have some shaded pieces. How many shaded pieces do we have?
3.
We have 3 shaded pieces. So that means our focus is going to be on those 3 shaded pieces. Those 3 shaded pieces are now going to be our numerator. So 3 6. So 1/2 is equal to 3 6. What do you think has to happen to this denominator 2 to equal to 6?
Times 3.
Multiply it by 3. We're not going to say times. We're not in 3rd grade. We're in 4th grade. Use multiplying. So we're multiplying it by 3. Now the rule is
Whatever you do to the numerator,